Hello and welcome to the Wealth Doc Podcast with your host, Mike Heckman. I'm Wendy McConnell. Hi, Mike. How are you today?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. Great to be here again. This is fun.
We're getting into the groove now, Mike, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And today we are actually going to be joined by members of your two-team approach, right, Mike?
Absolutely. So glad that we could get them both on here. So everybody on the service part of our team is on the call today. So there's nobody going to be answering the phones for the next hour or so. So
That's okay. We don't need to talk to anybody. We're talking to all of the people listening right now, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's welcome Kim and Alex, who are part of your team. Welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And Mike, tell us a little bit about this two-team approach. What does that actually mean?
So how we organize our service model is basically with two teams. And what that means is we've kind of got the investment policy and investment management team, and then we've got our service team. So the whole idea is we try to make our customer experience feel like an iPad, where you get the easy information in front of you, touch a button, you get what you want. And then all of the really nasty nerd work gets in the background where you have to ask before you see the gobbledygook and all that stuff. So today we're blessed to be joined with everybody who's got the client service contact, Kim, who's our frontline reception, office management, schedule meetings, make you feel like she's your favorite aunt when you come in. And then Alex, who is our licensed MBA, who churns the paperwork in the background and as a second set of eyes on that stuff and just make sure everything runs smooth.
So today we're going to get to know Kim and Alex pretty intimately. Is that right?
Absolutely. That is the complete goal.
Okay. So let's start off with Kim, ladies first. How long have you been working with Sable Point?
I have been with Mike for a little over 3 years now. I started February 1st in 2020. And of course, that was a month before the COVID hit.
Oh, yes. So lovely time, right?
Yeah, it was interesting.
So, Alex, same for you. When did you start?
I started in June of 2021, so almost exactly 2 years ago to the day.
Wow.
And
happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. I was looking at that today and was just surprised that it had been that long already.
He was like, I'm going to get someone to say happy anniversary to me. So, Mike, excuse me. I'm going to edit that out. So, Alex, what were you doing before you joined Mike?
Before I joined Mike, I was with another firm in the St. Louis, Missouri area where I was doing pretty much the same work that I'm doing with Mike. Customer service and client service, and just making sure everything goes through smoothly for their accounts and anything that they may need.
And how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for almost 6 years now.
Okay. And you're committed. This is me. This is what I'm going to do. This is my love language.
Yes. When I graduated college, I was actually a teacher for a few years. And during that time, I realized that I was really driven towards the personal finance and advising side of everything. And I made the career switch when I got my MBA and have loved it ever since.
Yeah, it sounds like a drastic change from teaching, huh?
It was a very big change. But overall, it's kind of the same overall goals of just being able to help out others in a spot that they may need it.
Gotcha. Okay,
Well,
Kim.
Didn't mean to interrupt, but that's part of what I think makes Alex so good at the role is that he's got the technical knowledge, and when you got the heart of a teacher, educating clients is a big factor.
Education probably is so much a part of this because there's, so much that we, the regular people, just don't understand about all this money stuff. We just know we want it.
Yes.
I'd like to collect more, please.
So, Kim, what were you doing before you teamed up here with Mike?
Well, I worked for a cable TV company for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Of course, yeah, it was a long lasting, and the company merged with another company. And so at that point, a lot of corporate offices, employees lost their jobs. So then I was on the market to scoop up. And thanks to my sister who knows Mike and sees him because he knows my whole family. Uh, he says, I'm looking for somebody. And she goes, well, my sister's looking for a job. And you kind of worry about working with friends. You always want to make sure you don't end up on a bad note. You can maintain that friendship. And my sister told Mike, just do it. So he did. And now I've been here 3 years. We work great together, and it's worked out well.
So he did the scooping. He scooped you right up.
He sure did. But being in the cable industry as far as long as I was, it's like, well, what's next? And you never know where you're going to land, but I landed in a very good spot.
So were you in customer service then for this cable
Yes.
company? Okay. That's got to
Yep.
be the hardest job in the world.
Yes. And I did so many different positions over the years because I used to do billing on the computer and manually mail these out to over 6,000 customers. And then we grew. And so then I was a customer care lead. And then the last position, I was a multi-dwelling unit operations specialist where I dealt with businesses for the last 3 years. So yeah, working with customers and business owners for a long time.
So is there a lot of differences between doing what you did before and doing what you do now?
A little bit. I mean, you still have the customer service. You want to provide the best service to clients, make sure they're taken care of. You take care of their needs. In the cable industry, I think you had more personalities because there were people that, there were kind customers that you waited on that you loved. And then sometimes there'd be some that were very difficult and maybe nasty. No matter how you try to help somebody, they still want to be nasty. So, but
I'm one of those nasty people, Kim. I would yell at the cable people all the time.
And I understand because being in that industry for so long, I can sympathize with some of the customers, when there's changes or hikes in their bills or whatever, or if the cable goes out, and there's a favorite show on,
Or the Super Bowl, or
oh, you betcha, you didn't want to go into work the next morning.
I bet. Well, and my famous line was always, I know this isn't your fault, but I am very frustrated right now.
You got that right.
Well, the fact that you were aware it wasn't her fault puts you already in the upper echelon. You're the top, 2%.
Not to get too far off course here, but when you make me go through 8 rounds of hit this button and hit that button and put this in, by the time I get a live person, I'm so tired.
Yeah. Yes. Because we used to answer the phones in our office where you would talk to people on the phone. And then, of course, when they put up call centers and stuff like that, then, it was difficult because I know some customers would come in and they had to go push a bunch of buttons, but then they could actually come in and talk to us. And they were really relieved when they could actually talk to somebody in person.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So, what are some of the best things about working with Mike? And let's pretend he's not here. Let's pretend he's not just standing there listening, and we can, see his reaction.
It's great because we communicate. We have a respect for one another. We take care of each other like family. And like I said, we support each other. We back each other up. If I have a doctor's appointment or whatever, I can go do that, come back. And then we've got Alex on the team now where he can cover phones. So we all work well together, no matter what we've got going on in our personal lives or work lives. We're there to support one another and cover for one another. So that way the office is taken care of. And so our clients are taken care of as well.
All right. So you love that Alex can cover the phones for you. Alex, how do you feel about covering the phones for Kim?
I'm okay with it. I enjoy talking to the clients. It's especially since I'm not in the area with them, so I don't get to see them as often.
Okay.
It's nice to, when I see names pop up, to put a voice to it. And when I do get up to Ludington, to put the voice to the face and the name and everything, this all comes full circle.
Yeah, he brings up a great point with the technology that we leverage with RFG. Alex is able to work and do all this work seamlessly out of St. Louis, Missouri. So he flies in for the client events, so that people can shake his hand, give him a hug, and find out that he really does exist. But most of the time, we gather the data, and Alex has the paperwork shipped off to him, on a digital interface, and they can't tell the difference whether he's in Ludington, St. Louis, or Maui.
How often have you called in from Maui, Alex?
Oh, Mike doesn't need to know that answer. No, I
Yeah,
wish I could do
he
that.
can't tell, right?
Exactly.
I know it's not the moon. There wasn't an 8-minute delay.
That's true.
So what's it like to be a virtual part of the team?
It took a little bit of getting used to, but being able to have different Zoom meetings or phone calls with Mike and Kim, it's made it very easy. And then the fact that I can still do my job through email and sending off paperwork electronically, it's like Mike said, it's smooth. There's no issues with it that I've seen. And it's always nice to see the response from clients when they realize that I'm not in Mike's office, because they think I'm right there with them. And
That's the assumption usually. Yeah.
being
Like, you're
a
where?
10-hour car ride away.
There's a time zone issue? What?
So there's no talk around the water cooler then for you, Alex. You miss out on all the office gossip, which really is just
Yep,
the other two, right?
exactly. They're talking about around the water cooler about me.
Yeah.
So I missed that, but
Yeah, I think the only water cooler conversations when my son Cody visits, and then Cody and Kim talk. I think that's basically our only water cooler conversations that happen.
No
Yep,
talking
he
about the Bachelor from the night before, or
Yeah, he doesn't get his homework done, and then I stop working for some reason, and we just chat away.
sounds like a good thing for all of us, right? Okay, so this is, this is the team. This is who is all working together for that cause that we all want, again, to have as much money as possible, right? Or, live the way that we want to live.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary. I found myself describing it, trying to water it down as much as possible, or try to make it concise, is that we want to efficiently grow assets for people and eventually turn assets into reliable income. That's the, if we had to do the 5-second version. So yeah, yours is more succinct than mine. I just had a hard time saying it the way you did.
Bring more money. Bring me the money.
I need to watch Jerry Maguire a couple more times.
So let's talk about the process, Mike. How does your process work?
Yeah, so it's gone through several revisions and tweaks and a lot of epiphanies along the way. I think the biggest changes were, after I finished my certified financial planner training, and then I ended up going and getting a master's of science in financial planning, to try to understand that, and then developing our system. I was inspired by Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so like the psychological tier, that the simplified is at my base level, I need my food, water, shelter stuff. And if I don't have my food, water, shelter stuff, it's really hard to take notice or pay attention to anything else.
Correct.
Or like another way we've said it is, if this is the most important stuff, unless somebody's bleeding, then you got to go take care of that. Then this is the most important stuff, and then Maslow's next is, then your safety, if like, if I'm a mouse and I'm fed and I'm sheltered, I want to know where the cat's at, type thing. And then our community and our love and, our sense of others,
Belonging.
is next. And then our esteem needs and like our self-actualization. Well, you turn that into financial planning, and there's some things that you have to have a core situation for before you can move on, so, like with the lifestyle, that when you're supporting yourself and then, are cash flow positive as you're accumulating or in retirement, you should have your core expenses from stable or guaranteed sources. That's your lifestyle.
Make all the bills, get the bills paid.
Yeah, that's important,
Yeah.
and then so I'm a big novel reader. I love reading, and so I find myself when we're talking to clients, that it's almost like writing a story, except for you turn the book over and it's like, okay, how do we want these chapters to end? And then from there we map out where we're at today, and then we look at like the obstacles, what's getting on our way, both seen, because some people know exactly some of the stuff that's in their way, but then there's unseen. There's some stuff that we have to kind of bring awareness to. So you got the lifestyle, and then the peace of mind, and then the impact. Most of the people we take care of have somebody or something that they care about more than themselves. And then, so if we can help them leverage their impact on these things, do it that a couple hundred times, and now we've made a bigger impact on a couple hundred things. And then that gives purpose, that's the why, is like how much of a better footprint that we leave, because we've helped so many of these people that trust us give back and make that bigger impact on what they care about.
So when you
And
say
then,
that people love something more than themselves, you're talking about causes that they may have.
usually it's I see grandkids and causes seem to be the two that happen
Okay.
there. It's like, hey, I want to make sure so and so is fine, and for some reason people seem to like their grandkids more than they like their kids. I don't know if it's a common enemy thing or what's going on, but the grandkids, and then causes, and then like with Maslow's like self-actualization, you see that people as they grow and develop and what they care about sometimes shifts throughout their life stage. So when and then people get married, life changes happen, priorities change. So you got to constantly be monitoring and updating, not only because of macroeconomics, but because of how we live our lives.
So how does your team actually work together? And let me just preface to that with saying, Kim, Alex, do you know what the heck he's talking about?
A little bit. I've told Mike before, if I only knew back then what I know now, like saving for the future and putting a little bit away here and there. I've always had like a retirement plan through the previous job, but for like kids and grandkids, you can kind of give them a step up with some of the knowledge that you have to maybe kind of help them in the future and then educate them. So I do pick up on a lot of what he says, and I have questions, and he's also my certified financial advisor as well. So
Well, that's good news, right, Mike?
That's how we initially met. And as far as everybody working together on that, when we do our meetings, like one of the core decision-making principles is what's best for this client in this situation. So if you want to streamline it to that, it's like with all the options out there, I think everybody on the team is well aware that the core principle is what's best for this person in this situation.
So Alex, what do you think about the hierarchy of needs that he uses as kind of like a guide? Is that something different than you've seen in the past?
It's different in this field, yes. Hearing that takes me back to my college days, learning in all my education classes, learning about the hierarchy of needs and different education philosophers that we used. But seeing it the way Mike just described it, it fits perfectly in financial planning and meeting your goals with whatever those goals may be for clients.
Yeah, I like that so much. Because it just goes to show that like after survival needs, like the world is open and you can go so many different places. So how did you get across, Mike, to everybody about your vision for this team?
Well, I think, when Deming says, 99% of your problems come from the top 1% of management, I think initially it's as you come on board, the task list prioritization becomes part of it, and then as we go through our weekly meetings and we talk through each client, and then when we're going through the decision-making matrix, and then having those prioritization of those needs, and then what's best for the client in each situation, when that's the overlay as you customize all these solutions to the individuals, I think it just becomes habit, part of the system.
And do you describe it in this way to the client?
Uh, I it depends, because we try to learn the learning style of the client and then try to adapt the presentation to the learning style of the client. So even that, some get plastic buckets and get to touch the pieces as we put in the plastic buckets. Some get white drawings on the board, and then it very depends. There's some like if you're have a psychology practice, yeah, we'll go over the Maslow's hierarchy of needs just like that. Uh, but yeah, if you're running a construction company and that's not your jam, then we'll try to put it in something tactile, in metaphors, in your profession. So the message is there, the delivery has to change.
Okay. I was just wondering if that made it easier for the clients to envision what it was that was trying to be done.
Hey, yeah, the hierarchy and ordering of the financial principles is displayed that way. I don't necessarily give away that the Maslow was my inspiration or the template that I used to kind of overlay finance with it. I think this might be the first time I've publicly even disclosed that.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I find that to be fascinating. So I'm glad that we talked about it and that you brought it up. So
Awesome.
we're probably about to wrap up here. So I wanted to give Kim and Alex a chance to maybe ask Mike something they've always wanted to know. And, now they have the opportunity. I see Mike.
Open book, guys.
All right, Kim, you go first.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, can I have a raise?
I really can't think of a question right now. I just like to say, he's a great communicator. If I ever have questions, he answers them and everything. He's very knowledgeable, and I've seen him at work with our clients, and it's just a great experience working here and see what he can do with people. I just can't think of a question right now. So I'll just make a statement.
I can kick it back, and something that I saw with Kim, which was something I thought she went above and beyond, was we had a consistent need for notarization, and so Kim went and got her notary public, on her own volition, and then I've seen her help our people, with some of the notary stuff that's, beyond the scope even of like our financial services, so that's something that I saw Kim take initiative on and really elevate our customer service there too. So if she's not going to ask, I'll give her props.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, is there something that you want to know or delve more into when it comes to the boss?
I don't know. We've had good conversations about a lot of different things in the past, and I think it's just, are we gonna play golf this summer when I'm up there?
100%.
We didn't get that last year. Awesome.
Have you played together before?
No, we've tried a couple times, and then it's just been like schedule badness. Like when I was in St. Louis, I got a kid that got sick, and then when Alex came up here, I'm not sure what happened, but
my kid
family
got sick.
something.
Are you both
My kid was sick that day, so.
Oh,
all right. So we took turns.
Yep.
Are you both very competitive? Will either let the other win, or is it like, no way, Jose?
I hope nobody would let me win, but I don't think I don't think that's going to be a factor, because he'll probably beat me, and it won't be because I'm letting him win.
I'm gonna say on the golf course, I don't like to lose, so.
Yeah, that's what they say about my husband and I. We are both so competitive, we would never even dream about letting the other win it. So,
Nope.
well, this has been so nice to get to know everybody and to get that team feeling from all of you guys. So I really appreciate everybody coming on and spreading all this goodness and satisfying all of these needs.
Well, thanks for your help today, Wendy. Thank you.
Very nice to have both Kim and Alex on as well. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Mike, how can we get in touch with you?
Yes, we now have wealthdoc.com active, which puts you on our podcast landing page on our Sable Point Wealth Management.com website. And then you're looking at the two people that'll answer the phone at 231-425-4308. Again, that number is 231-425-4308. And they're both competent and eager to help.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. Please like, follow, and share this podcast. Until next time, I'm Wendy McConnell.